So there's this article making the rounds from hokanews.com, and it's making some huge predictions. It claims a cryptocurrency, Pi Network, is about to kick off a massive revolution in Nigeria's banking system. Today, we're going to break down the pretty extraordinary claims at the center of this story. Right from the jump, the article doesn't pull any punches. It quotes a source who says Pi Network isn't just another crypto, it's a new world order. I mean, that's a huge statement, suggesting this could fundamentally change how finance works on a global scale. Okay, so a claim that big, you've got to ask, where is this coming from? What's the foundation for such a dramatic prediction? Let's dig into the key arguments the article actually presents. According to this article, the whole revolution really kicks off with one single pivotal development. And here it is. This is the heart of the whole story. The Hokanews piece claims that Nigeria's biggest banks are, right now, actively upgrading their systems specifically to integrate Pi. This, according to their source, is the big signal that a massive shift is already underway. So, which banks are we actually talking about here? Well, the article doesn't just speak in general terms. It gets very specific and starts naming names. And yeah, these aren't small players. The article lists absolute pillars of the Nigerian banking industry. We're talking household names like Zenith Bank, Yuba, and First Bank. By listing them out like this, the source is clearly trying to give its claims some serious, tangible weight. And it doesn't even stop there. The article suggests this is just the first wave. The story they're painting is that this is the first domino to fall, portraying these upgrades not as some isolated event in Nigeria, but as part of a much bigger, worldwide phenomenon. You know, this all raises a pretty big question, right? Why Pi Network? Of all the cryptocurrencies out there, what does the article say makes this one so special that it would supposedly trigger this kind of revolution? Well, this is where the article really tries to draw a line in the sand. On one side, you have traditional cryptos like Bitcoin. Mining them is complex, it's energy intensive, and it's tough for the average person to get into. But then there's Pi Network, which is framed as something anyone with a smartphone can participate in. The philosophy isn't about being technically exclusive. It's presented as being community-driven and inclusive. And that is the crucial link the article makes. The argument is that because Pi is so easy to access, it gives users, especially in countries like Nigeria, a way to basically bypass the usual financial hurdles and participate directly in the digital economy. Okay, so let's zoom out. How does the article build on this idea and connect it all back to that grand prediction of a new world order we started with? The picture they paint is pretty clear. With its major banks supposedly getting on board first, Nigeria could position itself as the central hub for Pi adoption across the entire continent. So it's not just about what's happening domestically, but about Nigeria potentially becoming a leader for the rest of Africa in this new financial landscape. And this final quote from the article really sums up the whole vision. It portrays Pi Network as way more than just a currency. It's presented as this transformative force that's set to completely redefine the very basics of how the world handles transactions and digital assets. And that brings us right back to the central question, doesn't it? The article lays out this compelling, almost revolutionary vision, but we have to remember, this is one report. So, are we actually looking at the dawn of a new financial era, or are we just seeing the start of a really powerful hype cycle? For now, that's the big question, and the answer remains to be seen.